is Ruthie of Ruthie K's. This is not a fancy video, so you get me in my workwear. And I am going to be making a kilt, and I thought that I would share that with you because I haven't shared something in a while. My husband broke his hip, fractured it in the socket, and we found that the kilt is a lot easier for him to wear than a pair of pants or shorts. They're a lot harder for him to get off with the pain in his hip. So he already has one kilt, and I made it out of flannel, and it's a Seahawks kilt, where this one is a Kraken kilt, so that he'll have a few options because he's going to need to wear them for a few weeks. So I thought I would share my making of the kilt. So first thing we're going to do is lay it out here. We've already taken his measurements. I took a waist measurement, which for him is 40, and we want the back half to be pleated in, and the front half is going to be doubled and flat. So with that, we need to take the 40, and we want the two front flat panels to be 20 inches. So that's 40 inches of flat, and then the rest will be all pleated in to the other 20 inches. So we're starting out with 3 yards of the flannel, and we're going to measure it down. Oh, let me change this so you can all see it. We're going to measure from the selvage down 20 inches and mark that. And I had this doubled because it's just as easy to measure it doubled as not, and it gives you a little less to cut. And we actually want 21 inches because we need to hem it. Moving our way down. It's nice to have a darker colored material as well, because the chalk works better on it. So that's just a nice convenience there. And our pattern seems to be fairly equal, so we're going to be able to keep it pretty much on the line we have it on. Which is also nice. All right. Get our tape measure over the chair here. Okay. We grab the big old scissors. And start trimming it. If you need, you could, of course, can match your, draw your lines all the way across. That's perfectly fine. And depending on the width of your material, you could feasibly get 2 separate kilts out of it, but this would leave us with one at 18 inches and one at the 20 that we want for Mark's kilt. And I always wash my material first because it keeps it from shrinking once you're done, which can cause issues with your length of your kilt, your width of your kilt, your stitching. Those are things that we really don't want to affect negatively. So it's better if we do it this way. And I see on videos I've been watching that a lot of people don't take the selvage off, but I was taught that removing the selvage is actually good because it can keep your fabric or cause your fabric to gather in, because the selvage is where it's actually attached on the edges of the machine that makes our fabric, the weaving machine. And so it has a lot less stretch than the rest of your fabric. So we're just going to remove that. And there we go. And now we're going to just even up this edge. Now, people have two different ways of hemming the kilt, and I actually do like to hem it first because it's easy, but some people will hem it after they get it all pleated. I'm just evening up this edge, so it just makes it nicer for me to sew because I don't have all this fabric shredding out there. Okay. So we'll grab our chalk again, and we're going to mark off on our two ends. Since they're folded, that makes it pretty easy, where we want to have 20 inches flat. And if you can't draw a straight line, your ruler is perfectly fine. Totally acceptable. Never feel bad about that. Okay. So now I'm going to just go do a fold over hem on the bottom, and then I will be back. Okay, we are back. So let's turn this again so you can all see. Ugh. And we're gonna start with pleating the kilt. So we want our pleats to be even. So one of the easy ways for many people to do that is to actually calculate it out. So we want to find out how much we actually have to put into the pleats. Which in this case is 65 inches. Those of you that are quick at math will have this in no time as to how big we need the pleats to be. Because we need 20 to go, or 65 to go into 20. mind doing it on my calculator. So we want about 1.25 inches per pleat. I have my big tape measure here, or big ruler here. And so going from this side, we have 1, 2, 3, and 1/4 would be right here. That's hard for you guys to see because it's all black on my dark. So let's see, let's put a paper under it so you can see. So what we want is half of that. So we want basically 1.5 inches on each part of the pleat. And sometimes you have to do these pleats multiple times. And so we're going to go, there's 1.5 inches, and I'm going to go a little bit past that. Line that up on both ends. And then we're going to fold it. And you can pin down on both ends. A little so you can see both ends a little better. Sorry about that. Slide that up maybe. And what we want to do is put a clip in it. And I have these clips, or you could pin it on both ends. So again, make sure I have the right spot. Fold it over so it's this hard piece is there. Make sure we got it the same on both ends. There we go. Then we're going to put a clip in it on this edge. And then I'm going to clip it down here at the bottom. Then we do it again, and you just repeat this process until we get all of our pleats in there. And some people like to measure it out at that and just mark it, and that's another way to do it. Using the ruler though to actually fold your pleat in is a way to get it nice and firm and straight. I've made a number of kilts before I learned that, and it has been most helpful to, one, speed up the process, and two, I just am happier with my results because, like I say, they're a lot straighter. So hopefully my head's not getting in your way there. And using a plaid can be really helpful because with the plaid we can at least use the lines to line everything up. So that this doesn't become a horrendously long video, I'm going to go ahead and pause it and come back once I have it all pleated. Okay, here we are back, and I have that all clipped in so that you can see how that lays. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back and I'm going to stitch this right along the top here. Make sure y'all can see that. So I'm just going to go run a basting stitch all along the top there, right there. And we're going to leave the bottom clipped, and we're going to give it a good press. And a press is where I take the iron and I set it down, take the iron and I set it down to get these, start getting these pleats ironed in really well.